now, your host, Leslie Miyamoto Huffman.
Thanks for joining us on Capitol Views. I'm Leslie Miyamoto Huffman. I have with me today Assemblywoman Fiona Ma, who represents the District of San Francisco. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now, I'm so interested in hearing about your journey from the public accounting world into state politics. So can you kind of share with us how that happened?
Yeah, that's actually a long journey, and I never expected to be here. My parents were born in China and came to this country for the American dream.
So were you born here?
I was born here in New York.
In New York. Okay.
And my parents wanted me to go into an honorable profession, and that was one of the lead professions, a lawyer, an engineer, accountant, or a doctor.
Okay.
And so they...
Not a politician.
Oh, no, never a politician. So they decided early on that I should be an accountant. So I went to school, undergraduate, for accounting, and got my CPA license with Ernst & Young, one of the big accounting firms.
Did you go to college out in California?
I did my undergraduate in New York, and then I did my graduate work out here in California.
Okay.
So I went to school back there, started working here, got my master's in taxation from Golden Gate in San Francisco while I worked, and everything was kind of going fine. I actually saw the glass ceiling. I didn't hit the glass ceiling. But the profession wasn't very good for young people, for women. And so I left, started a practice with a colleague, and started networking for clients, got involved.
And where was that? Was that
in San Francisco?
Okay.
Got involved in a small business association, became the president, went to lobby the local board.
Yes.
I came up to Sacramento to testify. Got involved in the 1995 White House Conference on Small Business under Bill Clinton, and I thought, wow, it's so cool to be in politics. These people are helping people, they're affecting people's lives, they can level the playing field. And I looked around at the other politicians around, I thought I could do a better job. So came home, told my parents, you know what, I think I want to go into politics, and of course
what
you
was
can
their
imagine
reaction? Yeah.
You're crazy, we've seen your phases before, don't rush into things. We think you should think about it. And I said, no, I want to, work full time, learn it. So we kind of came to a compromise where I could work part time. So I put my resume out, and then Assemblymember John Burton, who is actually in my seat today, was interviewing. And I remember when I interviewed for him, he said, why do you want to do this? And I said, I don't know, I want to be an assembly person like you someday. And here I am, years later in his seat.
You achieved that goal.
Achieved that goal, so somehow, it was meant to be. And started working for him part-time for 7.5 years. Along the way, my parents
and were you still in accounting as well?
I was still doing accounting part-time. My parents wouldn't let me give that up.
Wow.
And along the way, they did everything they could to convince me to go back into the business world. They offered to pay for my MBA at Pepperdine, which I did. I'm the dutiful first daughter, and so I figured, what, it's a good opportunity. So I applied, finished the program. After that, I still wanted to go into politics, and my parents, begged me to get married, and so I did get married. And then after that, I still wanted to run for office, and by this time I was 34 years old, and my parents just basically
they finally gave up.
They're like, you're old enough, we've done our best, go ahead if that's what you want to do, throw away your life, basically.
So what about now? I mean, do they, do you talk with them about politics, and have they embraced it?
They're proud of what I'm doing. I don't think they really understand what I'm doing. They don't ask me, what have you done today? And they basically get their news if I'm in the newspaper. And hopefully it's positive, because if it's negative, then it kind of throws them off.
Then you get the phone call.
They're not happy, because they take it very personally when there's a negative story. So I think they are proud of me, and we'll just see.
Now, have you been involved in any a committee on taxes or something like that over at the Capitol, where you're using those skills that you learned from accounting?
I am on the Revenue and Taxation Committee, and that committee I actually can staff myself, because I know more than my staff members, and it's something that I understand, working in the private sector before and working with clients, understanding the tax laws. And so I do a lot of bills that affect our revenue system, our franchise tax board, our state board of equalization, and so I do a lot of those type of bills.
Okay. So the state of the economy, not great.
Nope.
The state budget, not great.
Nope.
I'm sure you understand fiscal responsibility and accountability and all of that good stuff. Is there any good fix that you could enlighten us with your background as to, you know, how people should be dealing with furloughs and the budget and state politics?
I don't think any of us predicted the financial crisis last year. The $42 billion budget deficit caught us all by surprise. We have a fundamental problem in California is that we require a 2/3 vote to pass a budget and to increase taxes. No other state in the nation has that 2/3 requirement on both taxes and the budget. So every year we have to work with the Republicans and get a certain number of Republicans to vote with us. It's been very difficult, and that's why we always have problems, you know, passing the budget. I understand voters are angry at us right now. They would like us to solve the budget problem. It's a problem that we inherited. We've had chronic budget deficits for many years, and we've basically been able to, you know, borrow from Peter to pay Paul. You know, this Band-Aid approach. You know, sometimes the economy goes bad and we all panic, and then the economy gets better, and we have a .com, and everything goes along well, and then you know, all of a sudden, you know, we have a crash again. So this is where we're at. We're kind of at a low point. We accept the responsibility that we are here. We have to do something about it. We are doing the best we can to try to preserve as many programs and services and keep tuition low and, you know, free education and health care. I mean, all of these are very important. But it is a fight when you don't have enough money to pay the bills. We have a huge cash flow problem here in California, so it's about priorities.